Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Sussman's lawyers, the indicted attorney who was paid by Clinton to spread absurd nonsense into the Federal Bureau of Investigation through a meeting with James Baker, James Comey's top legal counsel. His lawyers have stated, quote, "There is simply not sufficient time before trial for Mr. Sussman to evaluate special agent," so this is a special agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, "this person's opinions and meaningfully consult an expert of his own about them, given the volume and the data and the range of the conclusions offered about them. In short, the special counsel should not be permitted to try this case by ambush." But the special counsel isn't. But nobody is being surprised or ambushed or stunned by any of this. The Federal Bureau of Investigation already found that there was no Alpha Bank link. This is widely known. So this is a major victory by John Durham. John Durham has indicted Michael Sussman because we see a text message showing that he lied to James Baker. He said, I am not going to the FBI to see for any other purpose than to help the Bureau. I'm not being paid by Clinton. That's essentially what the text message says. I'm not being paid by Trump's direct political rival. I am simply giving this information because of altruistic reasons. James Baker, being the good, wonderful government official, did not know that he was being duped. He simply said, okay, let's meet. Oh, what's this? Alpha Bank information. I guess we at the Bureau have to investigate. Of course, James Baker knew that Sussman worked for the law firm hired by Clinton and the Democratic Party to outsource a third-party tech firm, saying the DNC was infiltrated by another country to inform everybody that Bernie Sanders was cheated, and to help, all this information showing that, to try to fabricate or manipulate the information that said that Trump worked with the Kremlin and all of this. So you had high to moderate confidence assessments from James Clapper and John Brennan, but that was due in part to a Steele dossier that Clinton purchased. But now we have two issues here. The Steele dossier Clinton and the Democratic Party purchased through Sussman's law firm, and the fact that Sussman is indicted for allegedly lying to James Baker about a meeting that he wanted. Prior to the meeting, he worked with a tech executive and tech researchers to obtain surveillance information, cyber data on Trump. Trump's Trump Tower, his apartment, a healthcare provider, and while Trump was in office, the executive office of the president. So you have all of this information. And the major victory is that they don't want a special agent. So an FBI special agent is going to serve as an expert witness to tell the jury and the judge during trial that, by the way, all the information that was given turned out to be completely false, and if you look at it, it's actually manipulated, fabricated, contrived. There are already messages showing that the researchers stated we have to appease VIPs. We have to actually work to create this narrative because we were paid to do so. Hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very important. This is it's a huge victory for the Durham Probe Special Counsel. If they get an FBI special agent to go ahead and testify against Michael Sussman, that'll be two officials at the Bureau who will testify saying, Michael Sussman not only lied to James Baker, but he was paid to create a myth. If you do that, then Sussman, obviously, if he's smart, if his attorneys are smart, lawyers are smart, says, hey, wait a second, Baker and everybody else knew. The people at the Bureau knew. Everybody knew I worked for the law firm that helped, outsource third-party tech firms and purchase dossiers and work directly for not only Clinton, but also mashed potato brains Biden. that law firm worked for numerous Democrats and got paid a lot of money from the Democratic Party. So you wonder, if you're a lifelong Democrat, where your donations go. It goes to funneling money to third-party tech firms to go after Trump. So you have this issue, ladies and gentlemen, where now you have an expert witness, another official at the Bureau, stating that, yes, indeed, an attorney was paid by Clinton to spread false and salacious and absurd and fabricated and manipulated and contrived information into government agencies to get government officials to investigate Trump. These people, of course, worked in unison. Hit subscribe to this channel, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. If you've lasted this long, let's get to 200,000 subs. We're almost there. I'm reading from a law and crime article. Michael Sussman's defense team accuses Durham probe attorneys of missing key discovery. Date asks judge to block testimony. Judge is not going to block testimony. Just like the judge didn't throw out the background, the factual background. What took place, ladies and gentlemen, is that they got Michael Sussman on a lie. Now, how many people during the Mueller probe lied to the FBI? A number, but these lies were had nothing to do with Trump being installed by the Kremlin, which never happened. Literally never happened. And the notion that Russia wanted Trump is an absurd notion. What's taking place during mashed potato brains during his tenure in office? What's taking place? We have the greatest, worst, most horrible, most terrible geopolitical nightmare. It's taking place while Biden is in office in Europe. We have the greatest catastrophe in recent European history, and Democrats are in charge. So I don't think, if you look at the damage that's done, they keep on saying, I have to vote Trump, it causes so much damage. Look at the world around us. And Democrats are in charge of the House, the Senate, and the executive branch. We're going into a recession. Inflation is through the roof. Gas prices, energy prices are skyrocketing. We have a geopolitical nightmare in Europe. So our economy is descending into madness. There's talk of food shortages globally and in the U.S. And so tell me, is it better now? Do you think that rival nations or countries or competitors in terms of geopolitics were saying, wow, the United States is so strong and powerful? No, they were saying that with Trump. The media didn't like Trump, but Trump presided over a very strong and prosperous country until his last year in his presidency, and then after, more people lost their lives under Biden's first year. But of course, that wasn't Biden's fault. Trump single-handedly ended the lives of those people. We don't have to, according to media and to morally superior liberal Democrats, we don't have to get into it. These people believe in nonsensical, irrational myths, lies, hoaxes, they're apoplectic when it comes to Trump. And then when it comes to the president they voted for, our president, mashed potato brains, more people losing their lives under his watch, not a problem. It's not really his fault. And the geopolitical nightmare in Europe. Oh, that's because they didn't get they got what they wanted with Trump. That's the new absurd line. They got what they wanted with Trump, so therefore they didn't invade. It makes no sense. I don't even know the rationale behind it. But see, everything is collapsing, and it's collapsing because under 18 U.S. Code 371, you had everyone from Michael Sussman to James Baker to Comey to Strzok, McCabe, the attorneys at that law firm, the Clinton campaign, the Democratic Party. What they did was deceive half the country. They deceived tens of millions of people, and it was an organized effort. They conspired with one another. This is not rocket science. The people who think that Trump was installed by the Kremlin or that Facebook ads swung the election have no evidence, zero evidence. And then what they do is they say, oh my God, you can't let anybody interfere. Their version of interference is, Hunter's emails that happen to be clear pay-to-play schemes, illegal activity, quid pro quo arrangements. The DNC cheating Bernie Sanders. So anything that hurts them has to be a plot from another country. Tulsi Gabbard, Trump, Bernie Sanders, everybody that opposes Democrats at one point or another is installed by another country. And people like Michael Sussman and others, even within the U.S. government, helped get us to this point. What Durham is doing now, he's won a major victory. He's getting numerous FBI officials to testify against Sussman. He's already gotten grand jury testimony from James Baker, I believe. And what the government's doing is trying to distance itself from, partnering up with Clinton operatives. Once they do that, you're going to have individuals, perhaps not in government, face legal repercussions. Give me your thoughts below. Huge victory for the Durham probe. Thank you.